Good morning and welcome to day 2 of Salon Management Congress Delhi 2024 presented by Brillare Professional. After a knowledge-filled day 1, we are about to embark upon a journey that takes us deeper into the nuances of running the salon business. Today, our experts will take you through various topics such as cash flow management, marketing and social media, use of advanced technology, customizing services to suit your clients' needs, and specialized services such as scalp care. Let's keep all the sessions interactive and keep asking questions. You can ask your queries in English and Hindi. India's beauty industry is rapidly growing, driven by a rising middle class, urbanization, and increased disposable income. As of 2023, India's beauty and personal care industry is valued at approximately 25 billion US dollars, and it spans skincare, hair care, makeup, and wellness services. The market is fueled by digital transformation and e-commerce. With a youthful population and a focus on grooming and wellness, India's beauty industry is set for continued expansion. And to add to the knowledge of cash flow management, we have with us our first panel for today. The topic is making the cash flow, regulating cash flow, managing budgets, and principal and interest review. In this panel, we'll be discussing best practices in budgeting and financial planning, strategies to maximize profitability, effectively managing expenses, and money management in off-season. And to take this panel forward, I would like to invite on stage Ashwin Mahajan, Creative Director, The Opulent Salon; Rachit Malhotra, Creative Director, Femina Plus Salon; Deepak Jalhan, Creative Director, Lux Privé Salon; and Mahesh Ravaria, Founder and CEO, Beauty Garage Professional. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us today. Before I start with the questions, I would like to give a brief introduction of the entire panel. Ashwin Mahajan is the creative director at The Opulent Salon. His Instagram profile says he's a holistic hairdresser and a creative spiritual. With many accolades and achievements under his belt as a hairdresser, Ashwin is also an established name in the salon business. His luxury salon is a testimony of art meets business. Thank you for joining us today, Ashwin. Rachit Malhotra is a creative force to reckon with when it comes to hair. He has traversed many domains, including but not limited to cutting, styling, coloring, editorial shoots, celebrity styling, and education. As the head of Femina Plus Salon, he leads his team and his social media followers with his success story. Thank you, Rachit, for coming here today. Deepak Jalhan, the creative director of Lux Privé Salon, has shown that luxury through his hard work. Shown the industry through his hard work and dedication how a luxury salon is successfully run. Known in the creative circles for his daring approach to hairdressing, as a salon owner, he has scaled newer heights still. Thank you so much, Deepak, for joining us today. And our final panelist, Mahesh Ravaria, is the founder and CEO of Beauty Garage Professional, helping salons and artists achieve creative greatness and helping them improve their bottom lines by being a supportive product partner. Mahesh has evolved his beauty brand into a support system for the salon owners, and he knows their pain points and caters to it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mahesh. So with that, we will get started with this panel, and I'm going to join you gentlemen here. Okay, so firstly tell me, am I audible? Right. So let's start with understanding how to prepare a budget for your salon, and what should be the frequency of the planning. Should it be quarterly, monthly? Like let's start with the basics. Okay, so Ashwin.
So in salon industry, we have an idea called a break even.
Okay.
So I think I like to re-emphasize on, I think we should create an idea of the grow even, where you are already keeping your profits also in the account, and then you creating that, your benchmark that this is my figure, and after that I will be able to, create for the new breather for the business.
Right.
So I think that's just a approach will going to change the way we actually look at and pursue the business.
So it's not break even, it's grow
Grow
even.
even, because I think if the partners already have taken their kind of some margins already out of the thing, I think you have much better freedom to work with in future. Otherwise, you are stuck with the crisis management all the time. I think if you, I always say that if you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. So I think that's how it goes.
All right, Rachit, what would you like to add?
I think the budgeting, it depends if your salon is in profit or not. If your salon is in profit, then you always have so much money, cash flow is already there, so there is no point. It's only when the season is not working and you think this is my fix, this thing, and then you keep the budget for your promotions and this thing. So that depends upon the how the salon is working at the moment. So
Okay.
matlab, I'm like person who goes with the flow in terms of this thing. So this is my way of working. So depending on the need and your aspirations and what you're looking at, then you can always decide, because some people they plan so well in advance, like this thing. But for me, some things, being a creative artist, something in life is also like creative. Something happens, something is happening on instantly, and you instantly make your mind and you try to squeeze your budget from that, and you have that vision ki this will help you to gain this much. So I think that foresight helps you in making your brand more better.
So it helps if there is room to be impromptu and be spontaneous.
Absolutely. I think because, I don't know about, there are two types of salons which I see. One is a salon which is like, owner based salon. So, for them, the main crux is, they have to think, how much budget, what are the plannings. Since I'm a hairstylist myself, and so, it all depends. For example, if there is new product available in the market or new things which have come or a new machinery line has come up, so I will not think twice. Being a creative artist, I will feel why it is not in my hands. Why? Because adding that line to my portfolio will help me increase my business revenue on a longer term. So this is what I instantly comes to my mind. This can be done, so I do it.
Okay. Deepak, I would like to know from you as well. But before I come to you, since you have raised the point of being spontaneous, Mahesh, the question comes to you. Does it help when salons have, flexible budgets and you go to them with your new ranges and
See,
कुछ new offer करना हो और उनके पास already flexibility हो, does it help?
so I think in the market there are multiple products available. As depend upon the consumer, the salon, the area, or as Rachit said that there are two different type of salon. One is the stylist salon, one is the owner-based salon where the stylists work over there.
Yeah.
So I think for them budgeting is really very important because the major things are not in their hand; it's on the stylist's hand. So they properly prepare the budget, what artists they have to keep, how much they have to give, and how they have to take. According to as a brand, we also identify the product line. Okay, what will suit, who can understand the technical product. We first go to the creative person, like sitting over here, and then second to educate the person over there who is at the second part of the salon. We educate them how to use the product. So for us, it's win-win situation. It really helps us to penetrate the product, and it's very easy when the artists are there as a salon, and for others it takes time to make them understand to understand them. We also help them promoting during the downfall or something is there. We do a promotion events, we do something or the other, an activity collaboration where both of them gets a benefit over it. That's how we support each other. You can say that.
Right. So Deepak, what's your protocol when it comes to budgeting?
Hello everyone. So I think when it comes to budgeting, we as like a stylist oriented salon, so budgeting is something we really don't think before doing it. But what I get to know over a period of time and learning that budgeting is something where you have to plan before, keep it like more like a kitty for the rainy days. That's what I like to do it. That's why my team likes to work on that. So budgeting is, as I said, as a stylist point of view, we still not get into that. What we take it in the industry, what becoming new, we just go with the flow with that. That's how it should be done.
Okay.
As Rachit said. So something new has to be done for us. That's how we go ahead.
So there's nothing like in black and white that you decide at the beginning of the month कि इतना खर्चा इसमें करना है, इतना cash इसके लिए रखनी है. ऐसे कोई proper segregation नहीं
Not
होता?
really, to be very honest. Like it's not proper segregation. There's no gray and white, not gray also. So, but yeah, we always have a thing that we need to work on the social media thing. This much has to be on the marketing. This much has to be on the stylist point of view for the education also. So
Yeah.
we try to put more education stuff, not talking about only the marketing and all of that. So that's what I like to do it.
Okay. When you do this kind of segregation, क्या ये actual figure wise होता है या percentage wise होता है?
I think it goes by the percentage wise.
Yeah, Rachel, with you also the same? जब आप ये allotment करते हो budget का, तो ये figure सोचते हो या percentage wise होता है?
Now, I personally don't see, I would say it's more of a figure base, because
Okay.
sometimes, the thing is coming, you don't see like a, percentage you have to, I just told you, like, if something comes up new, so you don't think about, what budget or what percentage is. It's just like, you want to have it, why not? And it's your foresight and over the experience of so many years that, you are at such level, where you can think how this product or how this thing or the machinery or any tool or anything when it comes to, or maybe a salon opening, a new salon opening, these all is just your foresights and your inner instincts. So which allows you whether you can do it or whether you cannot do it. Also, I would come to this point when you were asking a question, how you do it in terms of, since we are evolved through this salon business over the years, we already know this is our fixed expenses and this is variable expenses. So fixed expenses has to happen. So we already know this figure, like for example, 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs. ये तो जाना ही जाना है, ये तो पता ही है. So first, my instinct is to, as an artist, is to, how I can, initially in how many days I can, cover that up. So
Right.
that's my foresight. When this thing happens, then I becomes more relaxed and then I am able to do it as a, in terms of vision wise, whether I should have it or not. If I think, it's been 30th and, it's off season and, you're not able to do it, then you take a little time, 1 or 2, 3, 4 days to think about it. But if you have already crossed in 10 days or 12 days your fixed expenses, then I think you're good to go ahead. That's why. That's my.
और fixed expenses में क्या क्या आता है?
So when I talk about fixed expense, I think it's the rentals, it's the staff salaries, and more or less more of electricity. You know about, it's almost like a fixed kind of a thing.
Right.
And then you also know कि the product is also like itna lag jata hai. But obviously if the season is more, the product consumption goes higher. So you already know it, this is the fixed expenses. Apart from that, I don't think so there is any fixed expense.
Right.
Yeah.
Ashwin, what is a variable expense for you at your salon?
Variable expenses.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on that, as we said that, we have to flow with the time, every time demands different kind of, your anticipation. There's a new products, new opportunities, new market strategies. But again, I always say that, I have personally seen lots of time, people are struggling with the impulse management because due to the trends, lots of people tend to, mismanage their, the whole vision of the finance. And they completely take it to the another, outrageous way. And that later on impacts the salon for 6-7 months because we have gone through it, we've seen it. So I think it's very important that you already think in the terms of the percentage. What are your fixed expenses and then your consumables and taxes. Especially the taxes are very, very crucial. I think that's a very big blind spot that we are missing to manage well in the hairdressing industry and the salon industries. And then how you can budget from that for the the welfare of the staff. I think peace of mind is the most important thing, that once your staff knows that they've been taken care financially as well, I think then thereon, I think everything can, fall in a place.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes, and I'll come back to you about taxes. I think all three of you would like to contribute to that. Mahesh, आपका क्या contribution होता है in supporting the salon with regards to maximizing their profitability?
So support in a sense, there is one term called as discounts. तो वो तो जाता ही है सब लोगों को. So yeah, jokes apart. Yeah, so we as a brand, as a beauty garage, we don't only think that we are selling the product to a salon. We always try to do a collaboration with them, support in all the 4 corners, whether it is the product supply, distribution network, or when at times come to promote the salon, to promote the brand together. So we already have a strategy. We have an entire team, how we connect with the salon. Regarding the budget, I'll come to the first point what you said. I think because the sitting over here and the franchisee model it comes, then there is a major budgeting role which plays a role. Because we are working with few franchisee salons also. where they have 300 salons, 400 salons, individual place it takes place. So over there, budgeting is really very important when they have a Coco salon and Fofo salon. Coco is like company-owned salon and franchisee-owned salon. There I feel every month we get an email from that, this is a budget for your brand for this month. This is the insight what we get from the franchisees. So according to that, we plan the entire thing, how much we have to spend in the marketing, how we support to the franchisee and the Coco salons. That's how the budgeting is with the franchisee salons.
Right.
Over here, because all the creative salons are there, so budgeting is not the major role over here. As in the discussion we are seeing it, but it takes over there. And support, we are always there for them in all the terms for our product line. So we keep on communicating, and according to that, we customize salon-wise how we can support them.
So this difference that you have seen between franchise and company-owned salons, is there also a difference between a salon that is owned by creative people like them and salons that are owned by investors or somebody who's not from the industry?
Yeah, it really makes a difference, and it's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
If I talk about any one service as a pricing, if Rachit sir is doing, he can charge 10,000 to 12,000 rupees for that service, for example. When it goes to a salon, which is franchisee salons, there is no capping over there. So they want to, rotate their cash flow. They want to maintain their maintenance and all. So they reduce the prices and they do the services. That's the difference between the salon, which is owned by a non-stylist, and the salon which is owned by the stylist. What I have understood, according to me. Maybe I'm wrong, right? I don't know. But what I have seen, because I've worked with multiple salons, so I have seen these two major differences. And for us also, it's very easy to make them understand about the new innovation, new ingredient, new plan, what the product is about. It really helps us to, we take the insight from them also. What to develop, how to develop, what is a gap, where you find a gap in your salon, where we can, help to do our R&D and get the product aligned. For our product line, which we launched, Scalp Sense, Rajat sir has given a very good input to us and to develop the entire line. So that's how we communicate.
Yeah. So it's like a win-win for both. You are working in tandem with each other. Deepak, coming to you, Rachit ने जब ये अपना जवाब दिया तो उन्होंने सबसे पहली बात ये कही कि if your salon is in profit, if it's making money, then budgeting is not that big a concern. पर ये profit कैसे करें? मतलब कैसे extra हो कि cash flow की ज़रूरत पड़े आपको in the first place?
So when we talk about the cash flows in separately, we run offers. So we have sold memberships as well.
Yeah.
So what we do it in membership, you get lump sum amount of money. So then you can store it in a kitty. That's what I said before.
Okay.
So that's how when you have like rainy days or something, then that kitty works for you.
Okay.
That's how the things works around.
So having offers and packages is one way where people prepay and
Yeah, it's all about prepaid thing. So you like suppose for example, if you pay about 50 grand or something, then you get a services of 75,000. So I think most of the salon services are now following all this.
Yeah.
But again, you have to put it in across that you're not selling the packages to everyone, because what happens then the billing stops out. Because when you do sales packages in one day, then there's only rotation of the services, not the billings happening. So you have to be very, very, how will I say, point to be noted out which clients has to go out. So rotation has to work accordingly.
Okay.
That's how we also like to
Rachit,
do that.
would you like to add to this?
See, in terms of the question, can you repeat back again? This
So
one.
how do we increase that profit so that cash flow is not a
See,
concern
when
anymore?
it comes to increase the profit, we over the years we have known, which month will, give you how much business. For example, the monsoons is coming, so we already know there will be less of clientele. So what as a management, what we do is we tell to our, team that if you know any client, who comes over and, they are looking for a little lesser price, so you can be little skeptical. For example, we charge 10,000 rupees for a color. So even if at this time, they're okay for 8,000 for this month, we can do it. Or as a brand, we talk to them, ki, how about giving a promotion or an offer, and we put it on the social media and we run an ad to it. Like, the color now is you can have 8,000 or you can have this service along. So this is the way, it's your vision. And over the years, like for example, in September, there is Shraddh, the business will be down. Then there is summer holidays, the clients will not be here. And when the clients will come back, that is the time when every client will come back. So please don't give any discounts, because that is the time to earn revenue. So for me as a brand, what we do is we run only offers when we don't have low business. We only have low business and we know it, this is the low business, how you can do it. It's your vision. I think it's over the years been, you know, second generation to the business. So you already know that this will happen at this time, and the marriage season is there. So please don't, you know, run any offers. Why you know, I have seen so many salons, you know, they're doing disasters in during the wedding season. They're giving discounts, offers, promotion. I don't know. And even if some salons, they are, you know, opening in the high street fashion market, and they are having the premium clients, and they don't even think about, you know, the client is ready to pay extra, but why the hell you are charging less? You know, this thing, I think people have to judge their mind in order to, you know, push somebody's client. They're trying to do it, but they're not having a vision to increase the business.
Right.
This is what I think.
That's a very relevant point that you have raised here. Ashwin, yes, what would you like to add?
Yes. So about, I think I will say ki I think focus on keeping our best foot forward. I firmly believe where I work at my salon, I think I focus more on value. I know one thing for sure, value will attract value. So I stand with my value. I stand with my, you know, I will say ki I learned one new thing about spreadsheets and the predictions about the finance.
Yeah.
So that I come to understand, you know, what square feet of area is giving me what square feet of, like what kind of, you know, margins, what chair, what service, what, you know, the inputs giving me what kind of outputs. So what kind of, so now I'm keeping everything in mind, that the energy, space, and the, you know, the talent is invested, and what is the outcome I'm getting. So I think that is a very big, I will say, learning for me being an artist, expanding into the finance concept and understanding that dimension. It's amazing. It's so much fun that, you know, I never seen that shampooing can make so much profit. And I was amazed with the numbers when I was, you know, sitting on my spreadsheet. I said, wow, that look at, you know, that the amount of people are traveling from so far for the, especially for shampoos and the dryer, because they are paying, you know, more than the other salons to us, but they are really happy with our services. So I think that's where we come to know that, you know, projections and the spreadsheets and the Excels really matters, because I think we are stylists. We, it's very hard for us to be in discipline. Okay, it's our basic nature to be artistic, and, you know, a little bit we like to do things with the mood. But this is what we are understanding to, you know, understand and incorporate the idea of finance and the structure and discipline in the role, I will say.
Right. So understanding finance is something that you're finding fun right now.
Yeah, I think that if you don't find the fun, you're gonna really have a great time with this. Otherwise, it will not gonna work in your
have to
favor.
fall in love
You
with
have to
Excel
fall in love with the
sheets.
process, boss. Yes, that's the only way I think.
Okay, Mahesh, he just said shampoo में बहुत पैसा है. So elaborate on that. Yes, please elaborate on that, because our audience would like to know कि कहाँ है ये.
हमारे लिए इतना नहीं है. So no, it's not about only the product. It's about the experience of a consumer coming in the salon, the way you greet them, the way you do the service, because product is one part which plays role 30 to 40%, I believe, and 60% is just the person, how warmness you are giving to your consumer when they are coming in. The money is given for that. The way you are, you know, communicating with the client, how you are taking them, giving them the positive environment, the energy you are transferring, that is very important. Because if, as a consumer, if I go to a salon for a haircut, if I am going inside and if anyone is looking at me and ignoring, for example, if I go, sometimes we go to a salon, it's busy, very, I say, yeah. So there, over there is a negative impact which comes to me. But when I'm coming, the good welcoming is there, proper way, you make them sit, do a nice hair wash, you can charge more 4x. And you can make more multiple 4x money. Rajit bhai? 5.
So you're saying that it's the overall experience that will drive your margin and not just the product.
Obviously, it's a win-win situation. ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बचती है. प्रोडक्ट में अगर फ्लो करते रहोगा तो कुछ होना नहीं है. प्रोडक्ट को प्रॉपर हाथ में होना चाहिए, प्रॉपर तरीके से यूज होना चाहिए, तभी वो प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू भी बिल्ड होगी और कस्टमर को एक सेटिस्फेक्शन भी मिलेगा वहीं पे.
Rachit, I'm coming back to you. आपने एक बात कही कि सीजन, फुल सीजन में, ब्राइडल सीजन में या वेडिंग सीजन में लोग अपने रेट्स गिरा देते हैं, डिस्काउंट्स ऑफर करते हैं. सो व्हाई इज दिस हैपनिंग? इज दिस a copy paste format that people are following? वो herd mentality हो रही है कि neighbor salon कर रहा है तो हम भी करें?
I think these days ना बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग आ चुके हैं salon business में जिनको जो डिपेंडेंट है स्टाइलिस्ट बेस्ड, ठीक है, तो वो क्या करते हैं, स्टाइलिस्ट को पोच कर देते हैं. एंड स्टाइलिस्ट जो होते हैं वो उस लेवल की, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द जूनियर स्टाइलिस्ट.
Yeah.
सो उन लोगों को विजन नहीं होता, दे डोंट नो कि सैलून बिजनेस में कब प्रॉफिट क्या होता है. उन्होंने जो देखा अपने विजन से कि भाई डिस्काउंट लगा दो 10 लोग आ जाते हैं, उनको ये नहीं पता कि 10 लोग आगे अगर मैं एक सर्विस की 500 ले रहा था, सो माई टोटल बिकम्स 5000, राइट. इफ आई चार्जिंग 100 रुपीज फॉर दैट सर्विस, एंड मेरे पास अगर वो 10 की जगह पे 20 भी आ जाए तो मेरे 2000 हुए. तो लोग दे डोंट हैव दैट विजन, वो कैलकुलेशन नहीं है, और उनको बिजनेस नहीं आता करना. और वो जो ओनर्स हैं वो सोचते हैं यार हेयर कट का क्या प्राइस लगना है, मेकअप में तो कुछ भी नहीं होता. अगर इन सब के प्राइस नहीं होते और तो ये प्रॉफिट हम लोग कैसे सैलून चलाते. सिर्फ हेयर कट करने से तो हम एक बार्बर शॉप ही रह जाते. जब तक ये केमिकल सर्विसेज, जब तक ये लग्जरी शैम्पू कंडीशनिंग, आप देखिए वी चार्ज 700 to 1000 रुपीज ओनली फॉर शैम्पू एंड कंडीशनिंग. सो द होल आइडिया इज वी मेक एक्सपीरियंस इन सच अ वे कि क्लाइंट टेम्प्ट हो जाता है कि वो घर जाके, अब फीमेल को लगता है इट्स अ बर्डन टू वॉश एट होम. And we also try to nurture the client ki, why don't you come over here, we will do a better service, and we give them tea, coffee along with that. We try to make the experience more memorable, and we tell them ki, this will have a selfie picture if you have to go somewhere. We try to make her happy in certain way, that she is tempted ki meko salon hi jana hai. And on over the top of that we sell memberships to them. So membership में क्या होता है कि हम लोग उनको जैसे 60,000 रुपीज में 90,000 की सर्विस देते हैं. So our managers, a major focus is to sell a package. So when the client has already sold a package, the client feels कि यार मुझे तो पैसे देने ही नहीं है, वॉश कराने में वहाँ चलती हूँ. It's like a gym membership. You've already paid. So अगर monthly charge करता तो मेरे पास क्या होता, 2 महीने बाद जिम की तरह clients भी आना छोड़ देते. So when I'm starting giving a membership, so we are not defined कि हमने इतने ही membership देने. Rather I would like कि all my clients should take membership, so that if everything goes on auto mode system, then I am free now. My client will not run away to any other clients. So my vision is to sell packages in terms of this thing, and that accumulated money gives you a foresight, and if you get accumulated money, you can think for something new.
Right. Deepak, you said that packages सबको नहीं sell करने चाहिए. So what is your thought process behind this?
So honestly saying, as I said, Archit said कि हमारे जो clients पहले आते हैं, so most of our clients, they all come more like a family members to us. So our packages almost gets over in about a month or 2. So we segregate accordingly about that. So we have like categories of the people for premium to Mars and upper premium. So उनके लिए होता है. So most of our clients also, जैसे हमने बताया shampoos होते हैं, so our clients always come back to the salon and get their hair washes. It's not कि हमारे पास sales नहीं है shampoo bottles की भी, but they only take it for their travel purpose. So everyone come to the salon and get their hair wash and styling done. That's all. और packages की बात करते हैं, as I said, everybody has their own way of working it out. So my way of working is differently, but हाँ packages हम sell करते हैं सबको भी, but we choose our client to be that way.
And how important is retail for you to generate that cash flow?
I would say it's good to have a cash flow when we talk about packages again, when we flow that way. So as I said earlier, it was just get covered in about 2.5 months. So that's cash flow comes back again. So my rotation is always there. That's how.
Okay. महेश, आपके हिसाब से salons में retailing कितना important है?
See, salon consumer, it's like a doctor and patient, right? So हम जब जाते हैं, when we do any type of a treatment, service और डॉक्टर के पास ट्रीटमेंट, तो उसके बाद मेडिसिन उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंट है जितना कि वो ऑपरेशन इम्पोर्टेंट था. तो रिटेल सेगमेंट, रिटेल प्रोडक्ट रियली मेक्स अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस एंड टू बी इन द सलॉन, and it really helps to retain the service what you have done, whether it is color, whether it's cut, whatever they all do in the salon. So to maintain that thing, to maintain the service, when you say it's going to stay for 30 days, 40 days, 45 days, 10 days, 12 days, to maintain that, the proper right retail product is really very important. There are multiple salons, ठीक है, इसमें ज़्यादा डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, यही बेचते रहो, इसमें ये कनेक्ट नहीं करना, ये नहीं करना. There are many salons like that also. It's again their way of working. But if you want to have a good consumer experience, they should know what you guys are using, and they should know what they have to use after the treatment, according to me.
Right. But you are sure that this is something salons should be looking at in terms of revenue generation?
Of course, there's a, for example, if anyone is doing one service, okay, and if I talk about our category like keratin or Botox or whatever, it's going to stay for 3 to 4 months or 5 months most probably. So once the chair has been used, you have given your service for 3.5 hours, it's done, you have charged X amount, whatever you wanted to charge. Shampoo, mask or shampoo, conditioner, serum, it's going to last for 45 days for one consumer. So again, she or he is going to come and buy back the product. So your retail shelf, the more it's going to go off, it's really going to help you to maintain the cash flow. Because रोकड़ा बिजनेस बोलते हैं ना, रोकड़ा धंधा है, प्रोडक्ट बेचा पैसा आया, तो वहां पे ना आपका टाइम यूटिलाइज हुआ है, ना आपका चेयर यूटिलाइज हुआ है, ना आपके स्टाफ यूटिलाइज हुआ है. तो रिटेल प्रोडक्ट्स टू सेल इन द सैलून इज आल्सो रियली हेल्प्स टू मेंटेन द कैश फ्लो, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. आई मीन या.
Yes, Ashwin, what would you like to add to this?
So I think I have seen one like again I will talk about the numbers. So I have seen 15 to 18% of the every operator's revenue is the product. So I think every sale it should be help, and every every retail you're doing, it should be responsible retail, that people should able to follow back with the product, that how it is working for you. So there are some products and brands that they come for a while and they leave the salon. So there is so that when this happens, that people start losing the credibility on the relation of the brand and even the stylist. So I think कहीं ना कहीं पे मुझे लगता है कि we should relate to the the retail as a help and genuine, again one more relation to the people, that you can reach out to people, you can have a feedback how it is working for you and all that. Again, it will going to create a new avenue of communication, that you are caring for your people. So I think, because I think best strategy right now मुझे लगता है कि humanity है, and while you create the humanity with the retail, I think it can really be a good avenue to come along.
Rachit.
See, according to when I see in salon, तो मेरे को लगता है कि जो over the counter sales है, this helps you in decreasing the fixed cost. For example, मेरे जो salon manager की cost है, जो मेरा front desk की cost है, so according to me, तो मैंने तो ऐसे बाइफिकेट किया हुआ है कि जो मेरे ओवर द काउंटर का सेल है वो मेरे सैलून और मैनेजर का है, तो मैं उनको ड्यूटी बोलता हूँ आपकी सैलरी यहीं से निकलने वाली है, राइट. So this is one way of seeing things rather than going on an Excel sheet. This is. So for me, this head belongs to this head belongs to this. So then I see, and बहुत सारे मेरे ऐसे clients भी हैं जो लोग मतलब if you talk about like 18%, if he's saying, for example, so for me it's more than 25%. My client takes products back at home, but like in 25% there are 7 to 8% of my clients who keeps coming, and they every time they want to buy something new, right? So वो बोलते हैं रचित आज क्या है, कुछ नया बताओ. They have an impulse to buy 3-4 different products. They like to visit while waiting. They would like to browse my portfolio, what brand you have. Then they start asking me. Then being a educated stylist, I go to them, I talk to them. इसमें ये है, is sulfate free, paraben free, and this is this. For example, when I talk about shea butter is there, this kind of a thing. When you talk about, client feels nice and tempted, and they will love to buy that product. And so why don't you enjoy this product? It's amazing. So they keep on enjoying different kind of experience, and based on their experience, I know that this is my 7 to 8%, rather than just selling a product. So whenever they come next, I also make it a point to talk about them. You use that product, can you give me a feedback how you actually liked it? So then they say, yaar isme ye tha wo tha. मैं कहा okay, मैं कहा because you are one of my those clients, I tell them that you are I can talk to you as a friendly way.
Yeah.
So because there are so many other clients whom I cannot talk to you, so I make them like a privileged client, and they tell the insights ki I like this thing and this thing. Then I go back to the main company people and tell them ki this is my clients are facing, and then they come with any feedback or solution regarding to that, and then we do it. Because there were some kind of shampoos which were not giving that much of lather, and people were not happy with it because first time a sulfate free when it came.
Yeah.
So I talked to them. Then they said, why don't you do it twice? So I told them this is the shampoo which the methodology is absolutely different and the technology is also different.
Yeah.
So I changed in such a way, and the client felt happy and they start using it.
It's a way to educate them
Yes.
as well. Yeah. Deepak, what is your take on retail?
Yeah, totally agree with Rachit. So the way to educate your clients, like there was a total shift in terms of the products. When we talk about sulfate free, paraben free, and all of that, people used to buy their products, but they always come back. Okay, this is we facing an issue because they were not educated about it, because everything was new for them and for us also to educate them. So there was a different shift while telling them. There were times where like people bring their products back and they want to understand, do it in the salon and with the same products. So I think our team and education makes a lot of difference to that. And I think creating a culture in the salon to educate a client, it's really, really good. Must do it. So what we do it in a culture wise, we do it in-house trainings and everything. And the same training goes to our clientele too. And that's when they believe in their products and they have more repeated buying capacity to that.
We discussed the cash flow aspect of it, and then the topic of season, the wedding season and seasons that work came up. But what happens in off season? Cash crunch होता है, तो ऐसे off season में क्या करना चाहिए?
They are the masters who can tell you about it. I haven't seen Touchwood. I haven't seen that crunch right now, but yeah, if you have guys any experience with that, you can go ahead.
आई थिंक कैश क्रंच जैसे पता होता है कि इस महीने में आना है और उससे पहले ही आपका सीजन गया होता है, तो यू नो व्हाट वी डू इज वी टेक सम मनी एंड ऑलवेज कीप इट बिफोर हैंड एंड वी ट्राई नॉट टू टच दैट मनी बिकॉज वी ऑलरेडी नो कि दिस सीजन विल कम एंड देयर विल बी लेस ऑफ कैश फ्लो एंड देन वी टॉक एज अ टीम, जैसे आई डिस्कस अर्लियर कि वी ऑलरेडी नो कि ये सर्विसेज इस टाइम पे नहीं होंगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल नेल नहीं होगा ऑफ सीजन में, आपको लगेगा मेकअप नहीं होगा, देन वी कम अप विद सॉल्यूशंस लाइक हाउ अबाउट एडिंग अकेडमी नाउ, because then we start promoting academy business rather than and in season we don't do academies. So this is our way of working and we balance it very well. So
Okay, Ashwin?
I completely agree with Rachit what he's saying that you have to have one safe backup, the funds that for rainy days you never know, because after I think COVID, a whole market and the whole trend has disrupted. It is not going the way that the 5 year back what was the season and trend. It is not relevant to this time frame at all. So I think lots of things are changing. So that making your plan for कि June July का मेरा ये plan है, November का ये plan है. I think there are lots of inputs and there are different changes happening. So but yeah, I am completely agree कि भैया एक हमारा backup fund होना ही चाहिए. That's the best. That's a cushion we should have.
Yes.
I have done one thing extra post COVID. What I've done is I have talked to the bank people and I have now taken a bank OD.
Okay.
So this is what I tell you, ki, this OD I've taken, for example, you've taken any amount 25, 30 lakhs, depending on it. It's like a 2-3 months, how much you need it. So I've taken a OD for that. And in terms of if I know any problem will happen, then I can use that. So that is, that helps me relieve my stress. So this is what over the period, I'm working the same way. This is a new addition which I've done.
So it's a backup.
So it's always a backup,
yeah.
and this helps you up because when the season comes, you can always redo.
Right. Mahesh, we are almost to the end of this session. My next session is about the use of technology by salons. So I'm trying to now link this one to that. Do you think salons should have some technology for inventory management?
Everyone should have it. That's the best way to judge the product, what is going right, what is not going right. Expiration, you don't have to wait till the product is getting expired or near the expiry. So there are multiple softwares in the market with a very economic pricing, where they will give you a pop-up that if your weekly sale is of this product is 7 unit, 8 unit, whatever. So they give you a pop-up automatically. You can raise a PO or maybe a order to a distributor and all this stuff. I think many of them are doing it also. I've seen few salons going it. So this helps. Customer will never go back without the product, because every time your shelf is full of product. Second, as a cash flow topic is going on, so there would be no burden of doing a payment, because weekly if a salon is ordering, so the value of the amount will be like a very nominal amount. It's not going to be an entire month product. You have to buy it at a time. Yeah. So when you have a right inventory management software, then that really helps you to break the invoices into multiple of them. So that when you're doing a payment also, when salon wants to do a payment, they can give it in the, according to the flow, how the customer comes in. About the money reserve, crisis management fund, yeah. I have one point to add on it. Yes. There are different types of way of handling the crisis. Everyone individually are going to do their SIP. अरे मुझे कुछ हो गया तो SIP चाहिए, right? So I little bit agree and not agree what OD system is. It's for the increasing the business. When you want to increase the business, ODCCs always help us to expand as a product line, if I say. But similar way, if anyone is having a good cash flow with them and don't have any debt, same amount of money instead of keeping in the bank, because after 2 years, the 10 lakh rupees which you have reserved it, 2 years, there is no problem. But that 10 lakh is equal to 5 lakh rupees during the current situation after the 2 years. So right investment for the crisis is also very important according to me, what I
That's a
believe.
Very valid point.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's I wanted to add. So we
The way
also
you
do the
plan
same
for
thing.
yourself,
Yeah.
Your
So,
finances,
because money, whatever amount of money, crores of amount of money, if you keep in your bank, it's not going to give you an additional revenue. But you invest it right for your crisis management. It will keep on generating the minimum appreciation of the money, which is going to help you after 3 years also. If it not used after 3 years, you are at least at that point, the same value is still there, what it was 3 years back. That's why I wanted to add. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for bringing up that point. And on that note, we'll be calling this panel to an end. But I'm throwing the floor open for questions. So let's see if we have audience questions. Yes, there's one in the back. Can we please have the mic in the back?
Hi, good afternoon. Am I? So, I have question for Mr. Mohit. So, what are the key parameters you look for deciding a location for Privé Salon, and how are you managing to meet those rentals, to turn out the salon to be profitable?
Rachit, I think he's asking.
Your voice is coming very low.
For Mr. Mohit, for
Rachit.
Privé.
Rachit,
I'm Rachit.
You're asking him or
you are asking Deepak?
Sorry, Deepak.
your looks free.
Can I have your question, please, once again?
So, what are the key parameters you look before deciding a location for your salons, Privé salons especially, and how you make sure with such a high rental, the salon is profitable from, day 90th or 180th day after 6 months or 3 months. So, how do you decide that? And
Okay. So personally, I don't decide alone. They have people who does all this Reiki and all of that space thing. So yes, definitely, I would also like to put my word into it. When we talk about the luxury segment salon, the salon placement, the walk-ins, everything has to be considered, And it's not always has to be in high street market. It could be like a nice hotel as well, like what we are running right now. But everything has to be located in how the entry has to be done, what kind of treatments and the products what we're using it has to be high end. So when you're talking about the rentals are high, so your working capacity is also high. You're earning in the same way. Like suppose you have example, if I'm working in abroad, in Indian mentality, when we say, okay, we are situated there, we are earning in dollars, but we convert that rate in Indian prices. No, but that thoughtful has to be done. But if you're earning in dollars, you're spending in dollars only. So the same way I would say, if I'm earning in luxury segment, I will spend in that way only. So the category has to be flown with that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, there's one question here. You can have the mic.
Hello, everybody. So, what is your opinion on salons giving home salon services? Because we've seen people are requesting us, are you available for home salon too? More towards the beauty services. But yeah, what's your opinion?
Personally, if you talk to me, I am not in a concept of going for a salon at home, because firstly, it cannot be trackable. Because what happens is, if my staff member goes to the home, and that's an Indian mentality, they get a bonding together, and next time I will lose that client forever. So instead, I am putting so much efforts in terms of marketing, because these days marketing is not cheap, right? It's the most expensive thing. And in order to capture those audience, when the client becomes your client, so technically it's not your client. So I would prefer going to a salon business where everything can be trackable, and where the experience can also be better, and where I can have a supervision and the observation how the things are happening. Things which are happening at home, I cannot see. Sometimes a fishy things can also happen, or maybe a person can go into wrong person's, cage, I would say. So you don't know, because there are females and males involved in this business. So I would not.
And there is no way to foolproof this even with the help of technology.
It cannot be.
There is no way you can stop them from poaching the client or.
See, in terms of technology, but your experience and your supervision, and because the salon cannot go at home, na?
Yeah.
Even if the stylist leaves the salon, you know, your client is not now going. Earlier it used to happen, but now people are getting more attached to the environment. Even the product, what products are you using? The other brand is not using that product. So the client is, you know, not going and tempted with that product. And plus, we always make it a, you know, option of, there is not one stylist. We also say in terms of crisis, if the person is not there, how about having a, you know, option 2? So, you know, option 1 will only train for option 2. So this is a way which we work, so that, you know, if option 1 is not there, I say you can choose your other stylist, and you can, this is the way which we work.
Okay. You have one more question?
Yeah,
Quick,
to add on
quick.
to that only.
Yeah.
So, sir, isn't that affecting the existing saloon business where we are not adapting to home saloons?
See, like other salons also keep coming and pouring. Similarly, this business is also pouring. So whoever has to go wherever, they will go. For example, if somebody has to eat, you know, dinner at dhaba, he will go to dhaba. Somebody wants to eat at a restaurant, he will go to restaurant. Somebody has to go to a 5-star, he will go to 5-star. You will go to 5-star for an experience. So we are trying to give you an experience. We want to be in that segment, and where we can have a better quality and a better service environment, and where we can be looked upon as a brand where people, you know, would love, okay, this is the way the salon should work. Over the years, when you have learned so much from abroad and, you know, educated stylists and my teachers, that, you know, giving a good service will help you to earn respect and money all together at the same time.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So with that, we come to the end of this panel, and now I'd like to. You want to add something, Mahesh? Yeah. I would like to present you with a memento. So Deepak, if you could please step forward. Deepak, हाँ चलो. Deepak. Deepak, please. In the center. Go. Can you please hang around? We'll take a group picture. Yes. Rachit. Thank you. Please hang on. We have to take a group picture. Thank you for coming. Please hang out. We have to take a group picture. नहीं, महेश पवारिया का नहीं था. देखिए, नहीं था. Come, we'll take a group picture. I'll explain. महेश, आपका मैं बाद में भिजवाती हूँ. या आइए ग्रुप पिक्चर ले लेते हैं. आगे आइए. Thank you. Always a pleasure having you. Please. Can we have a round of applause for our panelists? It was a riveting session, and I'm sure everyone has gained a lot of knowledge out of this.